Today on our first episode of Business Live TV, we speak to Luke Carter from Carter & Co about property, mental health and the dreaded B word.
I've always been fascinated with property and I developed a passion over time. I always grew up around property, although my father used to play professional football. Simultaneously, he used to run a construction company with my mother. So it's always been very tight-knit in the family. I just love the progress and I thought, this is just the creation process and you get to enjoy and live in these spaces and do that for other people as well. We moved to so many locations, probably more than most people. We moved about 15, 16 times and got to experience so many lovely locations and decorations and the feelings it can generate. So yeah, I've been really sold on the idea of developing for yourself and others. I just remember just being at these locations and at them times and thinking I want to pull the heritage into the present and also project it into the future all under one roof, and also encompass the capital growth and use that capital to fund my own ventures, and whether that will be a research project, something scientific. The family office set up a perfect stage for me to invest and create in a number of different sectors under one umbrella, really. I always knew I wanted to do something for myself and something that would impact others as well. Love helping people, so very scientifically minded, love building things or creating things. So electronics, engineering, anything like that, property. If you're noticing a theme, they all have them core components within, which I find is really important. So actually, I don't mind what I'm doing as long as it has them kind of creative outlets within. I've been involved in various startups. I don't really flip between things. I kind of build up my portfolio of what I've been kind of exposed to in business and where I want to go. I just wanted to get to a stage where I can live life on my terms. I guess to make others proud, to help me on my journey on giving back. I love giving back, and I think if there's no satisfaction in that for me, it's not worth it. So I kind of work backwards. I don't start with what the actual experiences. I largely leave that open. I know that might be a bit of a spiritual response, but it does work, because if you start off on the outcome you want to achieve yourself, it does work itself out. I'd say my biggest success would be having my daughter, Olivia, who is just over 1 year old and is a fantastic challenge, definitely. It's made me realise that through the eyes of a child, anything is possible, and to mould and to kind of instill that sense of self-belief into the future generation is just magic. Generally, if I was reflecting that back to myself, I've grown during that period as well. In my business life, I've realised that I have to conquer challenges so I can show her the best way in life and to be confident in herself, because it took me years to overcome certain challenges. I went through a heavy depression and anxiety and OCD, which sometimes I talk about in kind of public settings. But yeah, overcoming them challenges has allowed me to nurture even the smallest successes and things in life, if that's material or non-material, and just extract the best joy, because I've seen the worst and now I know how to maximise the best when it does come along. I would say being mindful of the present moment. I found often that anxieties come from the future and any kind of depressive low moods come from the past. So a fantastic solution is just to try and live in the moment. Even if you're doing something boring or difficult, I find that when you apply your attention mindfully, a lot of the anxieties go away. You're literally focused on one thing, and the mind does not like multitasking. In fact, it can't do it. The best the mind can do consciously is switch between two things really rapidly, so you might as well just focus on one thing. So that kind of helps me. Walking in nature, connecting with nature, and I think sometimes feeling the fear and doing it anyway, that helps me a lot, because up front from past experiences, when you have pushed yourself, it feels so fantastic to do that. You already know the rewards there, so every step of that journey becomes enjoyable, like it should be, rather than the outcome. So that's what keeps me going. Being happy in what you do is really no good starting something that you're not passionate about. So obviously it's not really the born talent, it's the born passion. That's what I believe in, and it's just that passion repeated that creates the outcome you want. Funding is obviously the lifeblood of the system. Everybody relies on it, and you should utilise that to maximum. But there's so many gaps in the market now. We can do better, like the challenger banks, alternative funding, private funding. It's absolutely limitless, and there's loads of money out there to be had. So it's just tapping into that, and we've got some fantastic funding lines that we're happy to introduce people to. And it's the whole stack that makes the difference as well. Although the property was the core of the business and still is, we're also expanding into banking and commodities as well. Difficult industries at times, but I like piecing things together, creating kind of big change, starting from small ripples. I chucked this question in because actually I don't really like the whole topic. It's so boring now. But I think there's a fantastic lesson to learn here. Don't wait for things to happen. I always say, it's always the people that adapt that do the best. So if you're waiting for the result of BREXIT, don't. There's always opportunities. The busiest and most successful businesses actually kind of rise up out of the ashes. They can see them opportunities where people are panicking and they're too scared to invest. So I think, just go for it. It's just like anything. Apply the same research and stick to your morals, and there we go. So that's my view on BREXIT.
If you have any questions regarding today's programme or would like to appear on Business Live TV yourself, then please email hello@businessliveuk.uk.